Welcome to Axiom TV. Um, Today's topic is all white people are somewhat racist. And when I say that having a white girlfriend, a mixed child, uh, some of my best friends are white. I hope I'm not. I hate to sound cliche, but some of my best friends are white, and I say that because I hear some of the stuff they say, like one of my best friends, an Irishman. He was talking about debating this one Republican dude that we know. I forgot that dude's name, but he was debating this one, having a discussion with this one Republican dude that we know, and this is before Trump was elected, and during that campaign, like it really balled up a lot of the undertones of racism in the country, and he said to that guy, he said that guy said something racist. I forgot what it was, and dude was like, and then my boy was like, man, I can't believe he said whatever he said about black people. You know what I mean? Dude said something about black people to him, and he's like, man, I can't believe this dude was racist because he was a good guy. And I'm like, no, he was never a good guy. If you live your life where you have to validate your being, where you have to validate your self-esteem, where you have to seek self-esteem, you know what I mean, through bullying or picking on or through seeing the suffering of someone other than yourself, then forget just racist. First off, you're a pathetic human being. First off, you're just pathetic. And second off, if it's through, oh, I have to see the subjugation of another race or another gender. I mean, first, you're racist, and second, you're misogynistic. But let's focus on race because I am gonna do a video. I don't think I've done one yet on the whole reason why men fear women. But let's talk first on why there's so much hate for black people. Because I've been curious, being that I'm black, I'm so curious. Now, this is the difference. When I was having a conversation with my girlfriend, and she's telling me when she would be watching like the A-Team. She was a big fan of Mr. T and Michael Jackson and things like that. And she said that her stepdad or uncle or somebody punished her because she asked, what is your, because I guess he was like saying something about, what is it? If there was a guy on TV, there was a black dude on TV. It might have been watching Archie Bunker. I guess there was a black dude that showed up on Archie Bunker, and it's like the stepdad was saying to her that it's cool, they're cool as long as they're making you laugh, but outside of that, you shouldn't associate with black people. So of course, being a kid, I can understand already. You know what I mean? You just have like a rebellious nature. Oh yeah, I'll show you. But she said that she got like punished for that, for questioning why do you have an issue with black people. So that let me see right there in a free country that they were trying to, that person was trying to instill racism in her early. As you can see, it didn't work out too well. But what that brought me to is, I'm like, man, it seems, and then there's other incidents where I hear like, I'll hear a person that is white that I'm cool with, where they'll say something where you're just like, huh? do they realize that they just said that around me? You know what I mean? Like you could hear like they're trying to blame something on a person outside their race. Usually it's a black person. You know what I mean? Where they, I don't know, they justify something, and that's how it seems that white people have to justify themselves by always blaming someone outside of their race. That's the reason why, to me, I just think white people are cowards. You know what I mean? They never ever blame their own problem. Like, I'm up here in a white town, these people have problems with white people, black people, and I always say to them, who steals your girlfriend? Who steals money from you? Who's robbing your stores around here? It's all white. It's white addicts and all that stuff. All white dudes. Like, they'll get bullied by some huge white dude and have a problem with me. Stare at me like I'm an alien that just arrived on the planet. You know what I mean? I've heard Chinese people. I've heard Spanish people. I've heard any other race of people always say they got a problem with black people. So I think to myself, I look in the history book, I'm like, have we invaded anyone? Why is everyone always hating on black people? And then it hit me. We're the easiest target. That's why. That is why everyone's got a problem with black people. First off, I feel like a star. I ain't gonna lie. Being black is like being a star because everybody hates on you. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's the blood gang thing, the blood gang motto, most hated, but that's what black people need to get a tattoo right across their chest. Most hated. And they can't tell you why. White people can't tell you why in the world they hate black people. They'll say, oh, it's because lack of fathers in the home, lack of black people are always on drugs, black people are always on welfare, black people ain't got no jobs, black people this, black people that. It's always something, but they never look up the history. How did this get to this point? No one ever wants to discuss that. It's kind of like the terrorist thing. You know what I mean? They only want to talk about now. They don't want to talk about how did the terrorists become terrorists? What caused them to become that way? That's why I say white people are cowards. They never ever they want to tell you that they're smarter than you, but they never want to do no research. They're the ones who write the history books, but they don't want to know their own history. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's what they were talking about. My boy was talking to this dude about white privilege, and dude was saying white privilege doesn't exist. And you know what? And I've heard multiple white people say this, that white privilege don't exist. If that is the case, then level the playing field out. Let's see who's really, really, really lazy. Let's see who's really not. Because to me, if we never enslave white people, how can we be the lazy ones? I'll wait. You know what I mean? Like, white people never want to question that. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, I have sex with a white girl, and it's almost like she's doing it for rebellion more than for out of her lust for me. You know what I mean? It's like she wanted to do it to get back at, like, her parents telling her, oh, you better not bring a colored boy home. Like, up here, they still call black people colored. That's how backwards they are. Like, I don't even judge white people in the country based on up here, because these people are so backwards up here. Like, a lot of people up here still have, like, Three's Company hairdos. I'm talking about their hair is still combed like Jack Tripper and Larry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm dead up on that. Like, I'm not joking on that. That is, like, real. That's how backwards a lot of the white people up here are. So I don't even judge these people when it comes to how I assess white people, because there's like a government experiment going on up here. Like I said, none of them got their appendix or their gallbladder. You know what I mean? But none of them question it either. So I leave them to think whatever they want to think. You know what I mean? But these dudes, but it's like, to me, it's like, unless you're, the only person I could say is like Sandy. It's like people who are born, white people who are raised around black people all their life. Those are the only white people I know that aren't racist. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't generalize and say all, but there's very few white people that are raised around black people all their life. and see and identify with the black people's struggle. You know what I mean? I'd say my chick, Sandy, her sister Big Jane. Man, I really don't. You know what I mean? My boy, of course, my boy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna say my boy. Yeah, my boy. He sometimes he said some things, but you know what? I'm gonna say for the most part, my boy. He's not racist. You know what I mean? My boy Skiz isn't racist, but generally, I find that most of the white people I know, they're in some way racist. You know what I mean? Like I chill with one dude. I talk to him, but how our friendship first started is I had to like check this dude because every 5 minutes he felt the need to tell me a black joke. And I said, dude, do you realize that you've like recorded or you've like spent your life memorizing black jokes that you didn't even come up with? And I could tell they're from like the 1700s, 1500s. You could tell like it's something like I don't know if white kids are when they come up, their parents read them black jokes and say you need to know these. You know what I mean? But it's not until I checked him on that one day that he like all of a sudden stopped and realized, oh shoot, let me not be racist. And every once in a while, I gotta check him again to let him know, hey dude, you're not smarter than me. So let's not go there about the racism thing. Because the whole racism thing is based in, oh, whites are superior to blacks mentally. Prove it. You got to prove that to me. You can't just get to say, hey, you nigger. Nah, you've got to prove to me why you get to call me nigger. It can't just be because you're white. You know what I mean? Like, that game is over. If you are superior, can you not get cancer? Are you above getting cancer? Are you above AIDS? Are you above disease? Or what are you above? Nothing. So you're as human just like me. So there goes the whole racism thing. I'm so tired of hearing that, oh, I'm not racist. Like this one dude, I was just watching a video where a dude was saying, well, I don't know if Max Kellerman is racist. I don't know if this guy is racist. I don't know if that guy's racist. No, you got to start out assuming that they're racist. And let me tell you why. Because the white culture teaches all white people that they are to look at blacks as if they are better than blacks. But I've already told you to read Michel's book about power. Michel Foucault. He's a French philosopher from the 20th century who wrote a book about the importance of blacks in Western cultures. We are the ones that they use their behaviors and try to point to someone and say, oh, it's that guy. Kind of like America points at Russia and China. You know what I mean? It's that way you never have to look at yourself. And that's the reason why I say white people are like cowards. Like, and they consistently are being cowards. And they think just by singing a song that says they're brave, then that makes them brave. No, actions is what makes you brave. Not words. Words are cheap. I've always heard talk is cheap. Actions are better. You know what I mean? That's the reason why you'll see, like, they'll see a video clearly showing that the cop is like killing a dude or abusing a black dude for absolutely no reason, and they'll actually pause to themselves and think, what should I think of this? You could see as if they're saying, man, what should be my response so I won't get in trouble with other white people? You know what I mean? Like, so I always say to myself, man, whoa. What is that about? What is that about? I've already told you, mathematically, it is incest, a sharing of recessive genes if you believe in racial purity. If you practice racial purity, you're basically practicing incest. There's no way around that. I mean, I challenge any white person to, or a person who's black, who believes in black purity. I challenge any of them to prove me wrong on that. Because if you practice racial purity, you are essentially practicing incest or the sharing of recessive genes. Like, I can shoot holes all day in racism, yet it continues. yet it continues. It's like, what kind of human being needs to be able to feel good about themselves by hating on another human being? It's kind of like how rappers get mad at other people for hating on them, but they're the ones who made the songs talking about, look at my chain, you're hating on me. You know what I mean? The rappers get mad about getting robbed. Like Adrian Broner, he's there talking about, oh, I'm rich, man. I'm rich. I'm rich, man. You know what I mean? And he's like saying that he's rich, but let's be real about it, dude. Like, you're the one who brought that attention on yourself. Now, Christian Ryan is saying that I'm not even listening to this. That's racist if you even saying it. I live in this country. I live in this country. I live in this country. I live around amongst white people. That's not a lie. I mean, you can pretend and put your blinders on like white people usually do and try to pretend, oh, it's not me. I'm not racist in any way. Oh, you're raised racist. You are raised racist. That's like absolutely true. You think black people spend their time coming up with white people jokes? You think black people spend their time staring at white people? You know what I mean? Like, who is obsessed with who? Who's obsessed with who? That's the reason why I posted a video yesterday of a cop just running, pulling over a dude, and then just goes out of nowhere and just cocks and hits this dude for nothing. For nothing. Do you think that there was a big uproar by white people about this? None. There's never an uproar by whites against what other whites do. That's why I don't believe in liberalism. That's why I think blacks are dumb for voting Democrat or liberal. Because it's all one system, man. Just like I tell you about the Bible. There's an Old Testament and a New Testament, but put them together and what you get? The Bible. You know what I mean? Same thing with conservative Republican, Democratic liberal. Put them together, what do you got? Racism. You know what I mean? That's structural racism. It never changes on that. And truth is not popular. Truth is just spoken. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be, and what, am I racist for speaking up about what is the obvious? That's obvious. But I understand if some people just don't want to hear that. I mean, I won't even go into it. You know what I mean? This is a person who spends no time reading about the history of this country. No time. They don't even know about the history of their own race. You know what I mean? I think I know more history about white people history than a lot of the white people I know. You know what I mean? Like, how weird is that? That I know more about white people's history than white people do. That's a little strange. You know what I mean? I'm from the third world. How is that possible? That I know about what Voltaire wrote about peaceful blacks, how whites found us, how Adam Smith wrote about peaceful blacks, how white people found us, and then now look at the condition blacks are in. We are what you can point at and say, oh, we're not so bad. Look how the blacks live. When who's the one who makes sure that the blacks live that way? No, I don't know. Other than the people I've named, and I'm sure there's a few others, you know what I mean? I don't know that many people that can look at blacks coming up on the rise and be secure within themselves. For some reason, whites hate to see black people rising. They don't want to rise from their condition, so they feel no one else should try to rise either. Who's purveying war all over the world? Is that Africans? Is it the violent Africans purveying war all over the world? And hey, let me make sure that I address my own race in this too. Because I think we are stupid for carrying on this nigger word. We think that because we drop the ER and put the A on it, that makes it all right. Oh, we're making a white person cool because we made a white person cool because they're saying that slang. Now they're using the nigger word in their own way and using it to that. No, man, you're not cool by teaching a white person how to say nigger. That is not cool. You know what I mean? That is just continuing the self-defeating purpose of the word nigger. Like I said, the word nigger is like, the word nigger for people is like the Confederate flag is for white people. It's self-defeating. It's victimhood. You know what I mean? When you get angry at the person that you're using that word with, you use the word as it was originally intended, to mean that that person is subhuman. And that's what it all comes down to. That's real. I mean, you know what it is? I'm not going to not talk truth because it makes people upset, or because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I could care less. I could care less. What do I see when I turn on the TV? What do I see when I look out in the world? I see a bunch of low self-esteem, mentally fragile cowards that hide behind guns, flags, and claim that they're superior to other people. Don't want to have to they don't want to have to share they've stolen from people. You know what I mean? They don't want to have to share it, so that it's best just to ignore it. Act like we're not doing it. Act like you don't see it. You know what I mean? Act like, oh, another black person shot. Oh, look at sports. Let's talk about sports. You know what I mean? Go Pens. You know what I mean? But it's never ever, let's solve the problem. The reason why you have, oh man, Hillary sucks. Let's go Donald. It's a pick of the worst too, but I don't want to pick one. Let's just blame the Democrats. Let's blame the Republicans. Not both. The whole system is fraudulent. It's stupid. It's unintelligent. You know what I mean? No one wants to say that though. No one's got the heart to say that. That's the one thing we won't say here, is that Jason's a coward. That's the one thing we won't say here, is that Jason's a coward. You could call me anything else you want to, but we won't say that I'm a coward. But I'm a bunch of cowards. I see a country of cowards. Everyone wants to say that, I care. I'm Christian. I'm this. No, man, you're violent. You're a sadist. You're complicit. That's fact. If you don't speak against or rise up against tyranny, you're a part of it. What do the cops say? If you're in the car and your friend gets out and robs the store and gets back in the car, you're complicit. That's it. We're going off the law on that one. You know what I mean? We can go off the law on that one. You know what I mean? I don't want to go around. I don't want my daughter growing up in a world where she has to feel that because she is brown, where someone, you know what? I never knew I was black until a white person told me I was black. I never in my life knew I had a skin color till a white person told me I was a skin color. Never in my life did I know that, dude. Till a white person told me I was white. I'm not sure that I was black. I'm like, what? I'm like Richard Pryor and see no evil, hear no evil. You mean I'm not white? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I grew up. My mom and dad never ever made it a stress. You could ask my two brothers. That was never a thing stressed in our household. It is not until I got to when we were hanging on tail end of Long Island one day, and my dad and mom brought us to my dad's friend's house. And man, what part of Long Island is that called? Suffolk County? Somebody in New York help me on that one. You know what I mean? Because I still got family in New York that watch these videos. What is the name of that part of Long Island? I'm going to say Suffolk County. It was deep by the tail of Long Island. So we go out there, right? And I'm like 10. I'm like 10, man. And we go all the way out to Suffolk County. And we're playing. You know what I mean? We're playing with my dad's friend's kid. And we're out walking the dog. He was cool. I think he even had my name. I think his name was Jason. So that's the reason why we gravitated to each other. And this black dog comes by. And he says, look at the nigger dog. And then I didn't even realize what word that was, like even a serious word or nothing. Remember, I'm coming from Jamaica. So I didn't even know that was like an insulting word. So then, boom, he said, oh, my bad, man, my bad. I didn't mean it. And I said, mean what? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, I didn't. And so he repeated, he's like, I didn't mean to say that was a nigger dog. And I was like, okay. It's not until later, on the ride home back then, said that I said to my dad, what's a nigger dog? And he said, where'd you hear that word at? And I was like, Jason, your friend's son back there just said it to me. And then he said, what? And we never ever saw those people again. Because my parents don't play that. You know what I mean? My parents knew that if the kid knew that, then that means taught that. So already he knew, you know what I mean? That's what it is. I don't want to be in nobody's face smiling at me 1 minute, and then the next minute I turn around, I'm a nigger to them. I'd rather you just be straight. That's why I like Donald. I like a racist who's racist up front. I'd like you to be racist up front with me. I hate closet racists. You know, gays are more braver than racists. Because at least gays will come out and be like, hey, I'm gay. But racists, nah, they'll stay on the low, hide behind a badge, they'll hide behind a gun. But you think without those things that they'll come up to you and be like, oh, I don't like black people? Nah, they're like cowardly with that. Don't be cowardly with that. Be real about your position. It's because they know they can't explain it. They have no validation for it. There's no way they can justify it in science. That's the reason why they came out. Is it the bell curve? That's the reason why they came out with all these different books and academic that they're still doing to this day. They just banned and forget Ann Coulter. It's another dude, an actual academic that they banned because he was trying to prove for some reason why white people are smarter than black people. If this was the case, why to this day has it not been proven? Why to this day are whites still trying to fund these studies to try to validate what they perpetrate on the black community throughout the world? Throughout the world, Africa is not in the condition it is in because black people don't know what they're doing, because black people are animals, because black people are monkeys, which I already told you. What do your scientists call you? White people. White people, where do your scientists tell you that you grow up from? But yet you want to call us monkeys. It makes no sense. Don't your own scientists tell you that you're monkeys as well? Man, I'm telling you, that's where I'm at with it, man. I don't like people pretending to be something. It's either you are or you aren't. You know what I mean? If you really believe in something, like my chick, I know she's not racist. You know what I mean? Like, I know that for fact. You know what I mean? Like, Skiz, Sandy, like people like that. Big James, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that I know definitely aren't racist. But then I had this one boy. He'd be cool 1 minute. Just the next. My boy Jamar said, okay, so do you think we should hang out with upfront racists because they're real? Or are you saying you should respect them for not pretending? So you can't hang out with them because that doesn't mean that they won't try to lure you to the woods and kill you. You know what I mean? So you can, if anything, you can respect an upfront racist. That's what it is. I respect an upfront racist more than I do a closet liberal like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, who wants to tell me that, yes, respect black people, but I want to sign a crime bill that makes sure that black people are going to prison. Yo, this is the fact, man. There are as many black people in the American prison system as there were in slavery. It's darn near the same ratio when it comes to probation, the whole prison system. The whole prison system. Like, that's just real, man. Like, so slavery basically didn't end. It's just more covert. I told you, through time, as time has gone along, it hasn't gotten... As time has gone on, it has not become more... People have not become more free. It's just a more overt or covert form of control. Back in the day, they were more overt about what they did. Now they're more covert. Now, you know what it is? People just like to bow to rule. They like to be followers. They like, if it's convenient to do so, they follow along with it. If it's convenient for them, they follow along with it. That's why they don't question. That's why they don't question. The Riddler should be black. I'll tell you that right now. The Riddler should be black. It should not be white. Because I don't know any white Riddlers. The Riddlers in life are that 12-year-old girl who bothered to question, I wonder where all the presidents... Let me do a genealogy on all the presidents. That little 12-year-old white girl. Like, that girl was genius. only the oppressed are the real geniuses because they're the ones who question. Those who feel that they are not oppressed, they don't question anything. They feel like, oh, it's cool. I'll go along with it. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I always say, why are there depressed white people? Because shouldn't black people be the ones depressed? But the reason why there's depressed white people is because these people are unempathetic to the plight of blacks. Because when I think to myself, oh man, I should be depressed, life is bad, I think to myself, you know what? Nah, dude. You still got your 10 fingers. You still got somewhat health. You still work. You still got feet. You're not living in Syria. You're not living in Iraq. You're not going through. You see how I'm empathizing with handicapped people, with special needs people. I empathize with people who are suffering. Eastern Europeans, Africans. The people in the Middle East. I empathize with people suffering, so I know my life is not bad. The same reason why you watch Maury and Jerry Springer and Lock Up, shows to make you feel good about your decisions in life, to make you feel good about your situation. That's the only way in life that you can be depressed if you're a white person living in America. What do you got to be depressed about? Are you black? Are you getting judged just by someone seeing you a mile away based on your skin color? No. So what are you depressed about? Don't you got a land of opportunity all set up for you? That's what you're really depressed about. Let me tell you why white people are really depressed. The depressed white people out there, the reason why they're depressed is because everything's been given to them. When anything that I've been given, I've never appreciated it. Never appreciated it. Never, ever, ever have I ever appreciated anything that was given to me for free that I knew I didn't deserve. That I did not deserve. I never, never, never have I done that. You know what I mean? What I appreciate in life are the things I got hard for. Are the things that I gotta earn, are the things that I know that I put in the time and the thinking and the thought and the effort or the exertion. You know what I mean? Like, my friend yesterday, I talked to him for like 3 hours. This dude is giving me all kind of excuses about why he can't break out of his depression. And the whole time I'm there sitting on the phone with this dude, like, you're just being weak. You're just being weak-minded. You are choosing to be weak-minded, and you don't want to look at anybody else's situation but your own. So I told him, you're selfish. That's got to be what it is. You're selfish. You don't want to, because if you could empathize and sympathize with other people suffering, there is no way you would be depressed. No way. Not when you look at, do you live in Syria? Are your kids their arms blown off just for living in a certain area? Do you live in the Gaza Strip? Do you live in Eastern Europe over in the Ukraine, where the poor people over there are getting shot and blown up for politics they got nothing to do with, where they're just trying to live? Do you know what I mean? Like, enough's enough, man. I'm not gonna play along with people no more. You know what I mean? I'm not playing along with people no more. Own up to your shit. Isn't that what white people like to say? Own it. Own it. You didn't validate depression, and that was a 3-hour problem, brother, man. I'm telling you right now. I told him, my dude, if you're not, I was like, are you going through what black people go through or something? I even said to him, what about you? Do you live in the Middle East? I said, do you got fingers? You got a girl that loves you? He would not hear it. Dude did not hear it. He just kept saying, oh, well, and I said, you're just Captain Excuse. You're Captain Excuse Maker. And that's what white people are. On the majority, white people are excuse makers. They love to make excuses. They're the king of excuses. That's the reason why you have political correctness. George Carlin called it out for himself. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds weird when it comes from a black man. That's what it is. They don't like to hear truth from a black man. But when Michel Foucault did it, they make sure they suppress a white guy calling it out. But I bet you no white people will go research Michel Foucault and what he said, the French philosopher. He's a 20th century philosopher, and what he says, after doing a thorough analysis of Western countries and the role that blacks play in those countries. They won't research this dude and see a very own white man who did the full analysis tells you how white people really are. You know what I mean? Like, all you gotta do is read their books. Read their books. It's right there. Like, excuse me. Like, that's what I do. I don't listen to people's words, man. I watch their actions, and I study their. I study a pattern of behavior. That's what I'm looking for. A pattern of behavior. That's the reason why we keep falling for this thing of. That's why you got blacks believing in Christianity. You know what I mean? As if Christianity is not a religion made to subjugate people. First off, whites use Christianity to subjugate other whites. That was the first purpose of Christianity. Then they used Christianity to subjugate the slaves, which would be the blacks in America. They used it to subjugate the Native Americans. You know what I mean? When they tell you that they're trying to civilize you, my good friend Skiz told me that really the people who are, and this is a white guy, blonde hair, blue eyed, said that when you hear civilization, the civilized, those are the real savages. Because who does the savagery? You know what I mean? Like, that's why we can look at the words they use to describe people that are dead, but we use it to describe other people. Barbarians. Those were real people that stood up to like Rome and those places. Those were real people. Now we use it to describe anything that's disdain. People who are of disdain to us, that we hold contempt for. Vandals. The Vandals were real people. Now we use it to describe someone defacing property, or defacing property, a house, a car, whatever it is that can be vandalized. We put eyes to it to make it an action, to take it from a noun to an action. But now it's an adjective. It used to be a noun. Now it's an adjective. Now that's the word we're using to describe certain type of people. Oh, they're vandals. Oh, they're barbarians. Oh, they're savages. Break down the word savage. Save age. Save the age. So that's what savages are. Anyone who wants to just live in peace with the earth is a savage. Anyone who stands up to the system is a savage. Well, I'll tell you right now, smartest savage you know. I know that. Smartest savage you know. That's why I challenge any white person that claims that they're intelligent. I want to challenge you to a public debate on this whole system that you used to think is so great. If you think this system is so great, why are there Amish people? Why are there 1% bikers who are 1% because they don't want to affiliate with this system itself? Why are there, you know what I mean? Like, I can name a whole bunch of splinter groups that exist in this country that don't want no parts of it. The very system that white people claim is so great. But none of them speak up against it. Cows thou art, man. Stop being cowards. That's my whole point to this thing, man. That's the only way this is going to stop. If people stop pretending that this isn't real life. If people don't stop pretending that they're racist in some kind of way on the inside. You know what I mean? You think me saying this is actually going to make them more racist? No. they're going to stay like that. If anything, I want to bring forth their racism. I'm done with people pretending to be something to me. You know what I mean? If you're one way, be that way. I know who my real friends are. And some of them are white. But on the majority, my experience with white people, and from what I see on TV, read in history, man, we've got some cowardly plebeians, vulgar, the masses, the people who have accepted being subjugated. The brave white people died a long time ago. The Pinkertons must have beat it out of them. You know what I mean? In Switzerland, they used to have uprisings like all the time. They done beat it out of them. You know what I mean? Well, no. You know what? There's still some brave white people in Ireland. I'll give it to them. The Protestants, I'm still down with. The Protestants are still brave. And maybe they're. I'll find some, man. But I'm telling you, those are the only ones that are standing up to the system. It's only those are the white people I respect. The white people that are standing up to the system that is clearly evil, that is clearly bedeviled. The rest of these people are just like zombies, walking dead, right? Stuck in trances. And there it goes. You know what I mean? Remember, the truth ain't gotta be comfortable, man. The truth, the main property of truth is that it hurts. It's unexpected. It's sad. Axiom TV. In pursuit of the real and actual truth. Not the comfortable, convenient, oh, don't be in my face fallacies and myths that we perpetuate forward. Black people, wake up. You are not loved. You are hated just for being born. It's best you accept it and just try your best in life. Try your best to make it through this crazy system that is hunting you like your deer. And that's why they hunt you. That's why we're the hated ones, because we are the least violent. You think if we were the most violent that we would be the ones getting picked on all the time? Think about that. Who picks on the most violent? Oh, you know what I mean? Who picks on the most violent? No. When you're a bully, you're the weakest victim. You're welcome. Be easy. Be strong. Be brave. Be intelligent. Read, learn, study. Just try to do your best, man. That's all I can say. And white people, the racist ones, it's cool that you're not racist, but it's time for you to start calling out these racist people too, man. That's what it's like. It looks weird when you just see one set of group. It's like we're looking at the same set of facts, but yet it's open to interpretation. Come on, man. That's cowardly. Be easy.